Hey, Jason Statham.
Hi, John.
You know what I hate?
What's that, John?
Well, obviously you would. You're me. I hate when there are items and or situations that I cannot directly relate to bees.
It's true, isn't it?
Fortunately, this happens a lot in The Beekeeper.
The Beekeeper. Dueling Stathams to open the show, or one guy that sounds like Statham and Alex has a head cold.
Dueling sleepy British men.
Yeah. So David Ayer directed this.
Yeah, friend of the show, David Ayer.
I mean, I'm not going to punch you for saying it, but I don't like that you said it.
It's been true since the very beginning. Although I will say it, this is his finest work.
What is he? I'm trying to
Suicide
find his
Squad.
Directing credit. Yeah, no, I know. That's
Bright?
the one I remember. I'm trying to remember like the other ones.
Right.
But IMDb might be the worst website that's ever fucking happened. Just click director, you dumb piece of shit.
No, well,
it's so frustrating.
My favorite thing they do now is where they have the things at the top and you click director, like, oh, I want to see his director stuff. And no, you're actually removing it from what they're showing it.
That's what it just did. Yeah.
It's great. Good design.
Okay, so Suicide Squad is the one I remember.
End of Watch, Bright.
Oh, Bright. Yeah. So let's get that out of the way. That where was he hiding this during those?
Yeah.
'Cause, like, this is a super competent movie.
Well, he didn't write it. I mean, like, I don't know that he wrote the other ones, but
yeah, this one's by Herr David Wimmer.
It's who was the writer director of Equilibrium and Ultraviolet, and it is to his credit that he did not include Gun Kata in this.
There were some gun kata in this,
but it's not specifically gun kata.
Yeah, it's not named gun kata.
Because it's featured. Gun kata is featured very heavily, although also not called gun kata. He believes he perfected it in Ultraviolet, but Ultraviolet is a really terrible movie. They made movies are stupid in the right way again. Made me very happy.
Yeah, it works really well. I'm surprised by it because I was watching the opening and I'm like, oh yeah, fuck, John did mention this is David Ayer. I'm like, all right, fine. I'm going to have to watch it. We agreed to do it for the show. Mm-hmm. But yeah, pleasantly surprised. Though I do have to say, it's just John Wick. Like, it's the exact movie, except instead of a dog, it's bees.
No. I mean, yes, but no, because it's basically stripped down John Wick. Because it's John Wick, like, there's all this lore and, here's a coin that'll do stuff. And then this guy's related to this guy. Here's this subculture over here. No. This is just strip that away and just make a guy a psychopath who's got leave to be a psychopath. There's not really kung fu. It's just brute force. And it's like John Wick for people that are too stupid for John Wick. And I include myself in that. And I love it.
There's a lot of metaphors around bees. And I think you got to be a real genius to figure that out.
Yeah. But that's just one thing. There's just one guy doing one bee thing.
But you have to understand, the people thinking that are people that like David Ayer movies. So they're probably going to go, oh, I get that metaphor. They don't know the word metaphor. They're like,
true.
Yeah, like taking the queen down. Oh, I get it.
Yeah, it's deep, man.
Now, here's the main question for this movie, my thesis statement in my response to this film.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he named after the basis of U2? Because Adam Clayton is a famous man.
Well, yeah, my guess is because he is Adam, so he's the original man, and then from the earth. It's just this generic name. Like Jon Snow. You've got Adam Clay.
Oh, okay. So you're saying he's like an ex-actor that had his face disfigured and then used like chemicals to become a supervillain. Oh, is the guy in this movie just Adam Clay?
It's Adam Clay.
Oh, I thought it was Adam Clayton. Okay, so there goes my entire thesis statement. There's also an Adam Clay who's a poet. May have read something by him.
Was it about bees?
No. Let's see. To Make Room for the Sea. That's not about.
Make Room for the Bees?
Stranger by Milkweed Editions, which is Milkweed. It's, obviously bees are involved in their reproductive cycle.
No question.
He was involved in plowshares. Plowshares obviously very bee Jubilate, which
Jubilate.
Jujubees.
Yeah.
This is all. Oh man, I finally understand why they
the
did
code.
this.
That's why.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all I have to say about the movie, The Beekeeper. No, I enjoyed it. I have thoughts. It's just one of those like, it's very John Wicky where it's just like, this scene rules. This is great kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What is nice to see, and maybe she's been in other stuff, but the lead FBI lady in this is from The Umbrella Academy, which is a show I quite liked.
I've never watched the show, but I thought she was okay in there. Her character was rather annoying. The FBI guys were kind of annoying.
I liked her partner,
but I like that they saved all the witty banter, the quote unquote witty banter for them. And that the Beekeeper was just like mission focused mayhem psychopath weirdo. Loved it.
Yeah, correct. And I thought they were both pretty witty. Like I enjoyed their repartee. I'm really glad the partner didn't die because this movie like dances on the edge of too tropey or like stereotypes.
Oh,
but
sure.
It doesn't commit to them. They're like, oh, this is fun. Like that guy should have died in other movies. Not should have, but like would have died in like, I don't want to say lesser movies, but like there's a lot, not to spoil the end, but spoiler alert, whatever.
Honestly, I will say if you're going to see this, go into this as cold as possible because the way it unfolds and the quote unquote twists it takes are hilarious.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're going to ruin it for you. If you have any plans on watching this, watch it first and then listen to us. Or like download us now, delete that download, watch the movie, re-download it so we get some of them sweet, sweet iTunes numbers, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of which, if you're listening right now and you haven't left a review where you can leave a review, go do that. Like 5 stars. Like, let's do this. Let's make me feel better about my empty life by getting thumbs up.
Or do it for me.
The president, which by the way, I was like, oh, his mom's like a congressperson or it's the whole ass president. Awesome. But I actually laughed out loud at that part. But the president not being crooked. It's such an obvious, like it turns out, especially when she comes in and she smoked the cigarette and you're like, oh yeah, the president's also in on it. But no, she's like a really good person.
Well, but still like used bad stuff to get elected. This movie, like politically, is hilarious because like the villain is basically Hunter Biden. It's the president's ne'er-do-well son who's a drug addict. It's like that. In this case, he's also like leading a bunch of telemarketing scams and stuff like that,
but
spams.
We did not see Peter Mallark's penis in this, which I was disappointed by.
Yeah, I was really looking for it. But like his mom, his mom, who's basically Hillary Clinton, is mostly fine. She's tough talking broad. It's fine. But then like, not his dad, but his father-like figure, Jeremy Irons, corrupt, runs a huge company kind of thing. So
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like you get a little bit of like a waft of Republican from that side as well. So it's a movie that's like political with having no point of view and isn't really about politics.
Yeah.
It's great.
I would just say that the only disagreement, and it doesn't matter, is I don't think the mom knew that the money was coming from a dirty place.
No, she does. It's revealed at the end.
Yeah, because that's what she wanted to admit. Because that goes, like, again, just goes against the trope. So another thing, and I was going to start the episode by having you predict how I'm going to annoy you in this one.
It's a mystery every time.
Yeah, but it's a different way every time. That's part
that's
of
what I mean.
Rapport,
yeah.
Baby. I don't listen to you. It's Peter Mallark from The Hunger Games is in this.
Okay, I never looked him up because I was like, that guy looks familiar, but not familiar enough for me to care. But that
is the baker's son. That is Katniss Everdeen's future husband, Peter Mallark, played by Hutcherson or something. I don't think I've ever seen him in anything other than a Hunger Game. I saw him in
I've only seen the one Hunger Game.
Yeah.
Thank you for spoiling their marriage.
I don't even know if the marriage happens in the movies, to be honest. It happens in the books though. Like it's like an afterword after all the stuff. But yeah, he's kind of good. He's bad in the Hunger Games. And it's not like he's great in this, but like he's a solid actor. I just wasn't expecting it,
He's fine. Yeah. I mean, like he is a real shit heel in this, but like a fully realized shit heel.
I like how his arrogant skateboard riding and, he's got the lady playing like a crystal bowl and
Since the whole thing is kind of this flashback to like the way we imagined action movies used to be in the sense that like, there's not really all this lore or stuff you have to remember or have seen other movies to see this. And the bad guy is like these kids today. Besides being Hunter Biden is also like these kids today because he's into computers and he's skateboarding around. And then like the whole thing starts because, an old lady clicks a scam link. And so this seems like an action movie for like grandpas, and it's great,
100%,
or like, people that are about to become grandpas or whatever, like people that are aging out of Gen X, or I mean, not out of, but aging Gen Xers.
This is a very dad movie. Like dads would love this movie.
I'm an uncle, so I feel qualified to be like, oh, this is for uncles too.
Well, I would just like to say happy birthday.
Thank you.
Because I just got you a present by not saying the things that I was going to say.
Yeah.
I was like, for once, I'm not going to be disgusting. Yep. Hey, to be fair, it wasn't going to be a normal disgusting. It was going to be like a whole different vibe. So her partner, I don't know anybody's name, Agent Matt Wiley.
Dr. Wiley.
I think you'll recognize him from he was in Bright as Arkashian, which, I mean, everybody knows, our favorite character.
It was bothering me the whole time.
I didn't put it together until afterwards. And then I was like, oh, yeah, he was on 2 episodes of The Walking Dead as Castro.
That might have been after I stopped watching. But it was bothering me the whole time. Not where I remembered it from, just that I've seen Bright. Like, that's been bothering me ever since I've seen Bright.
I didn't recognize him either. Just every day I wake up and go, fuck, we sat through that.
God damn it.
My problem, too, and this is something I have with this show. It's more I have a problem with my memory, is that the longer we get away from episodes, the warmer I feel about movies.
No, that'll happen.
So like Bright in my head, I'm just like, did I really hate it that much? I feel like it was just kind of fine, but I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure I hated it, but like, I don't know. I don't remember.
That, I mean, like, I hesitate to go back through on the other podcast, which won't be mentioned here. I'm not going to tease you about it because I'm starting to feel real bad about it.
You mean the one that you don't invite me on and you put like twice the amount of work into and actually care about? No, it's fine. No, it's good. No, it's good. I mean, it's not like I just started your whole fucking career and then you just left me in the dust. It's cool. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you took me from nothing to nothing.
I mean, that was a more complicated way of saying I dragged you down with me, but still.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, there's definitely stuff on that. Like, I had an urge recently to like rewatch Friday the 13th Part 2, I think. And I mean, not that I ever disliked that one, but I started thinking about some of the other ones. I'm like, maybe that wasn't so bad. And yes, they are. But you start to kind of like, particularly when you see something else even more terrible.
Which one is Friday the 13th Part 2? The first one is his mom.
The first one, Part 2 is the first one with Jason. Is where he's got the bag on his head. He's Baghead.
It's the bag on his head. Yeah. Okay. I couldn't remember if there was one between Mom and Baghead, Jason.
Nope.
Okay.
But no, so that'll happen. Like, you just kind of, but that doesn't happen with Bright. I mean, Bright's biggest thing really is just how boring it was.
That's actually kind of how I remember it.
Because Suicide Squad was actively like just hateful. But was there ever an Ayer cut of Suicide Squad? I don't know.
There was talk about it, and he said he would do it after the whole Snyder cut thing.
That's what it was. But I also like getting back to this movie. The twist in this movie, as we sort of mentioned, is that it ends up Felicia Rashad is his friend. He is a beekeeper on her property. And he's got like, I like his outfit, his beekeeping outfit. It seems like something you would unlock in a game. Like
it looks like a fencing outfit.
Yeah, but it's got those hexes on it, like this little circle cluster of like 6 hexes on it, 6 or 7. And
if you walk through those, you become a superhero in the movie The Marvels.
Oh, really?
That's how the black lady. She doesn't have a superhero name, which is why I'm calling her that. Because that sounds like, oh, how reductive are you? Yeah. She literally, there's a running joke in the movie that she doesn't have a name yet. I think in the comics she's called like Spectrum or something. But she walks through the hex that Wanda Maximoff put around that town in WandaVision, and it like gave her light-based powers. It was a really dumb joke, and this is going to look. I'm going to admit, I don't have a lot of notes on this movie, so I'm probably going to lean a little hard into that.
It's beautiful because that proves my point about this movie. Is that you don't need to know all of that. You could just, do you want to watch Jason Statham punch a guy? But yeah, so he's this like, she owns this like expanse of land that he's a beekeeper on there. And he's, at one point he's like, oh, thank you for taking care of me. She's at home on her computer and a pop-up window shows up. It's like, oh, you've got 1 billion viruses on her computer. And so she calls some hotline. She calls the number on the screen.
I genuinely felt bad for her.
I found it kind of hard to watch. I have a mom that's getting on in years, and it's she's not as dumb as Felicia Rashad in this movie, but there are people. In fact, Jason,
that's Felicia Rashad?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't put that together.
Yeah, her name and Felicia Rashad in the credits. So I was very surprised.
Wait, sorry. Hold your point there for a second, because something occurred to me, because multiple times in the movie, they refer to him as being like 40, maybe 15, 20 years ago.
Right, yeah.
But I just realized him talking to Felicia Rashad, it's like, they're probably, 10 years apart, like in actual time? I mean, maybe a little bit more than that, but like,
Yeah.
it's not a mom-son vibe that like,
No,
they're
yeah.
in actual age gap. It doesn't, again, this goes back to Under the Silver Lake. It's like, actresses are chewed up and spit out by the system.
Right.
And it's like, this guy's like
Or Bill Cosby.
55, and he's like the hardcore action guy. He's maybe younger than, who cares? Shut up, Alex. Please continue your point, John.
No, but I think that's a fair point. But he's like, he's a beekeeper, and then she calls the number, and it's just like, it's trying to be like a neon Wolf of Wall Street
hilarious.
thing. Like I've never worked at a call center. For a while, Omaha was the telemarketing capital of the United States. That's where you would call.
Oh, okay, congratulations.
Well, thank you. Like when it used to be TV and there'd be the blue screen at the end, and with the big number, you could call for whatever product. Usually it was in Omaha, Nebraska.
I grew up with streaming. Sorry, I don't know.
Well, you grew up quick.
Yeah. No, I meant like I fly fishing.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Didn't watch a lot of TV.
But like, yeah, it's this like neon lit thing, and this guy's like, "Oh, we got one. Put her on my headset." It's the boss, and he's like wheeling and dealing, and occasionally like putting her on hold to like hype up his crew. He's like, "Oh, I got this dumb lady." Ends up scamming her, and she's like in charge of a charity for kids.
Yeah.
That he like gets the account for that too, and they ran like $2 million out of it. And so I thought immediately, I'm like, this is gonna be like, okay, well, she's gonna just be upset, and then like Jason Statham's gonna be okay, well,
That's what I was thinking.
yeah. No, she murders herself. Like she kills herself like right away.
Yeah, John, we may need to put this on TikTok, so let's just do another take. She unalived herself.
She unalived her eggs.
Yes.
Whatever.
Jason Statham had eggs with her.
Yeah, so Jason Statham like shows up, he's gonna give us some honey. In an actual jar of honey, not in the way.
Be a bit of my Statham. You look lonely.
And then gets arrested by her daughter, who just
detained.
Well, whatever. But I love how there's an alarm going off, and that like apparently that home alarm goes directly to her child, who's in the FBI, and like arrests him for being there. And they find out that he is just a beekeeper.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Why the fuck did she show up?
She's just first on the scene.
But they're like. The hint is that they're estranged. I didn't even think about that. Like, why the fuck did she show up for a fire alarm?
Do not think about this movie too hard.
Well, wait, let's go back to the telemarketer place, because I guess because David Ayer didn't write it, I'm kind of all right with it. But like, if David Ayer wrote it, I would be sitting here questioning whether he knows that that's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. Because of course I'm immediately thinking about, because the more they get into it, the more it's like, well, the mob is involved somehow, and so it's a lot of like mooks. Is that like these meathead Italian guys, and I couldn't help but think of the Sopranos episode where Christopher and those two guys are running a pump and dump scam, and they're like, no, we're moving Wobistics, and it's still just like an office, and they're like dressed like stockbroker guys, so it's kind of funny. But they're all wearing like brightly colored suits and silk shirts. Like it's a strip club could happen at any moment at this job.
Yeah, and like the fact that he's on mic, like hyping people up at like a call, it's just like that would be. I mean, in real life, that's Mumbai. Like it's just a data hoarding center, and so I'm not doing the accent, but like somebody in a thick like Punjabi accent saying like, "Hello, my name is Bruce. Can I help you?"
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's frankly, David Ayer, you didn't address the material realities of call centers and how much that stuff costs. But it's also
because like this was much funnier. Like,
yes, absolutely.
Or unless the call center was only CGI'd Hank Azaria's doing a Punjabi voice, like a whole room of it.
Hari Kondolobu's head just explodes watching this movie. But no, it's very funny, and the other one they go to is even funnier. But
well, I think it's great. I thought that when they get to the other one, he's doing that accent. I'm like, I was doing a Trump impression. I'm like, oh yeah, no, they're just in New York. I forgot.
Right. Yeah, this is just how people talk. But I have actually never seen The Wolf of Wall Street, so I don't know if that's like lifted from there. Because I've just seen footage of him yelling at people and on a microphone in a crowd of people. So I'm just assuming. I don't know how call centers work like that, but that would be so annoying to work at. A guy yelling at you on a microphone and just like hyping up.
Yeah, I'd be really frustrated.
Just trying to play free cell, man.
Like once a year we have to do like a team meeting, and I'm like furious about it. Like let alone somebody just hyping me up all day. Fuck you. I'm getting a different job.
No,
I can rob old ladies of their money the old-fashioned way with my penis or a gun.
Put him up. You just got your penis.
Yeah,
that's terrible. Anyway,
bad person.
So she dies, and so the daughter's like, okay, well, this is all fishy. Because not long after that, Jason Statham, he calls a mysterious number and gets this, calls some like tech center, and there's this woman at a computer working, and she's like, I thought you retired. And he's like, oh, I need a favor. And I'll.
Oh wait, by the way,
yeah.
This is another one of we literally just saw John Wick and stole it. Well, John Wick has like antiquated technology, like the circuit board things. They're all running like Commodore 64s, like, the green text computers from like the 80s or whatever.
Like the Apple
which is like,
IICs.
you literally just stole that from John Wick. Like,
yeah,
this is no, I'm not saying that as a bad thing.
They still somehow automatically like work with his iPhone later.
Yeah, totally.
Great.
Yeah.
Like, so is this? Yeah, this is just like an aesthetic thing, which is really annoying.
No. See, I love that. Like, I love just going, yeah, fuck it, why not? Because like this movie's in no way, shape, or form takes itself seriously, which is its number one like greatest value.
Yes, but not. It also doesn't think it's stupid. It's at no point is it really winking at the audience or anything. It's just like, we're doing an action picture. This is what you do. And it has the correct amount of gravitas that a movie like this should have,
and the correct amount of jokes, because the scene you're leading up to is he calls up his ex beekeeper buddies to get the information. He just shows up to the building with 2 cans of gasoline and asks the front desk where to go. It's so fucking great.
Yeah, so you have no idea who these people are, who he called, what's going on. He's just a guy. He's called this super secret hotline. And then he shows up with a gas can. And I love already that when he encounters the security guys outside, it's like, I'm looking for like data collection offices or whatever the hell it's called. They're like, we don't know nothing about that. There's a giant sign for the building outside.
Yeah.
No idea. Love it. Just so intensely stupid.
Yeah, and he just beats the shit out of those dudes.
Yeah, and beats the shit out of everyone, and then like sets up a bomb inside to. He's like, I don't care if you live or die, but if you want to live, get out of here, because I'm going to set this. I'm going to burn.
So here's the thing:
down.
he doesn't set up a bomb. He fills the room full of gas vapor and sets up something that'll cause a spark.
Yes.
And it makes an explosion like he had 7 sticks of dynamite tied to C4. Like, it is a giant explosion for 2 cans, and they don't seem very full of gasoline. Anyone who walks out, there's still gas in them.
Yeah. Well, I like that it's hooked up so the next person that calls this hotline will get the next person that's scammed will cause it to blow up. And just the whole time he's describing it, I'm just thinking, bam, bam, now.
That would be the greatest movie ever.
Yeah,
if that just
ended
right
there. But no, of course he gets a safe distance away and it blows everything up. And so the guy calls his boss, the head of that organization or that arm of it, calls his boss. And this I thought was really funny. It made me think of the Simpsons joke where it's like this episode was like clearly after the Super Bowl, and whenever a character would talk and reference it, they would just hold a drink in front of their face. They're like at Moe's. And it's like, I love when the Denver Broncos went to the Super Bowl. Because you just see this guy's back the entire time as he's talking to PETA, whatever that actor's name is. And I'm like, did they just
Hutcherson or something like that?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's Hutcherson. But it's like, did they just like not know what he was going to say, so they filmed it weird? Because it makes it seem like he's going to turn around and his face is going to be all burned or some sort of reveal. But no, he's just there.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
It was just an odd choice, but that's
now that you bring it up, that is kind of suspect.
He calls his boss, who was that Josh Hutcherson guy, and Josh Hutcherson is like, well, why are you calling me with this? You had a disgruntled customer. What do I care? He's like, no, he blew up the building. So he goes to find he's not like his boss, but it's like his caretaker, who is Jeremy Irons, doing an American accent. Is that what that is?
I didn't even notice. I just thought that was his regular accent.
No, because he's doing the hard R's of an American accent.
Oh, fuck. He's got a really bad American accent.
It was not
He
good.
just sounded like Jeremy Irons.
Yeah, it was very bad.
Yeah, now that I think about it, no, he must have been doing American accent because he used to be the head of the CIA. There's no fucking way he was a Brit. Oh shit, wow, what a bad American accent.
Yeah, it was really,
holy crap,
really not great. And I usually like Jeremy Irons, but this was, not good.
He's likable in this. It's just his accent's dog shit, apparently.
And I love that because he talks to him and he's like, hey, you can with your connections used to be head of the CIA or whatever, like if I got like a guy who's causing problems, you can make, the problem disappear, right? Like really barely disguising that he wants Jeremy Irons to like find and murder this man, have this man murdered. Yeah. And Jeremy Irons is like, what? And then like the camera's, cuts to a wider shot and they're like standing at a concierge desk. There's like 3 people standing around him. It's like, you're just going to openly talk about murder. Love it. That's where we find out that no, he is the former head of the CIA, but he's like, I don't know what this is dumb. I'm not dealing with this. You deal with it. So he tells his boy, get some head stompers. Go find an address of like your latest call. See what's going on. Stomp
Yes,
some
and they
heads.
find the farm of sweet, sweet Eloise. Rest in peace. And they kill his bees, which I thought this was going to be, because at this point I'm just thinking, oh, this is just a straight John Wick copy. And it's like, oh, well, maybe they're just like, he's going to find the bees destroyed, and that's going to be the inciting, like the secondary inciting incident. But no, they're just jerks that killed bees. And then it gets into one of the better fights in the movie, where they storm the barn that he's been living in and doing his apiary work. And he walks by a bandsaw and turns it on because he realizes they're going to follow him. And I go, that's going to be something cool later. Yep. That? It was. And there's a really great fight. There's a beautiful scene where he shoves a shotgun in a guy's mouth so hard that his teeth start popping out.
Yes.
Which was badass. Like, they were so cool. And then, he chops the fingers off of the guy that he's chasing down, like the lead scumbag from the call center. Really just fun action sequence.
Yeah. It made me think of that two thing made me think of, have you ever seen 8 Diagram Pole Fighter?
No, I don't even think I've heard of it. Yeah.
It's Gordon Liu movie, and like it's at the end he figures out like basically he keeps doing this bow staff move where he jams it in people's face and like pulls out all their teeth. Yeah. And so I thought that was like a fun. I don't know if that was a purposeful reference, but it just made me think of that. And I like.
Yeah, it was badass. So. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, and it would like, and it's not even like I'm going to torture this guy. Like, give me the information, or I'll cut off your fingers. Like this long thing. It's just he just gets rid of him. Psychopath, absolute psychopath. Love it. At this point, the daughter, the FBI agent daughter, is at the explosion of the building and talking to some of the guys involved in that, and I think has one of my favorite lines in this. And there's a lot of really good, terrible lines. She's talking to one of the dorks that work there that's wearing a silk shirt and all that stuff. And she's like, nice shirt. You steal it off a corpse, you dog fucker? Yeah. Just beautiful. Just no, all three of those like, nice shirt. Okay. You steal it off a corpse. You dog fucker. Okay. Like that was.
Yeah. That gave me pause to the point of like, is that a reference to something?
Yeah.
Like, because there's some weird things in here that I don't know if it's references. And we're getting up to one. She gets the call like, hey, your mom's house is on fire. And she goes and checks it out. And like,
I like how casually he tells her that too. Like, oh, if you like fire, it's good news. Your mom's house is on fire.
Yeah.
Like the way this movie doles out information like that is so strange sometimes. And I love it for it. And it's very clunky.
Leads to one of my best lines in the movie where she, in annoyance, goes, I lost my virginity in that barn.
Yes.
It's so stupid.
What a fun little piece of character building information we got there. Like,
it's really just like there's dead corpses. They're burned up. It's just like,
your mom died.
In that barn.
Yeah. And you're like, yeah, the problem is that I hey, I bang, just so you know.
Yeah. And so that leads us to the really wonderful car on a bridge sequence.
There's so much of this movie that you could make the tiniest tweaks and it's a horror movie. And I think that's something that John Wick leans into a little bit more, where you have the like, oh, that's the Baba Yaga. Oh my God, he's coming for us. That sort of more sense of dread in this, whereas you're really following Jason Statham. It's like a mix of like John Wick and the Bourne Identity. Whereas this guy's inactive and all these government officials are trying to like figure it out and shut it down. But he's a lot less of a horror movie force than John Wick. And I can understand why they didn't lean into that, but the way that Jason Statham acts in this absolutely is just this brute. It's like Jason, basically. He can't be killed and he just causes havoc. Yeah,
and he's like emotionless when he does it. So the scene on the bridge is he brings the guy that's running the call center on the bridge, and he does one of those like tightening strap things, which ratchet straps, I guess they'd be called. And he ratchet straps him, ties the other end of the ratchet strap to his truck, and then just like basically, puts a brick down on the accelerator. That's, it's a little more complicated than that, but basically any truck hauls ass off the bridge and just yanks the motherfucker behind him. And it's so violent and so fast that it's like half funny and half horrible.
Yeah, but it's so like really ridiculous.
It's this has I'm not comparing the movies, but I'm comparing some of the tones. This has like a bit of that like Evil Dead 2 thing where it's like the horror has like the tiniest little bit of funny in all of it. Right, and I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not, this is not in any way, shape or form the Evil Dead 2, but you get that kind of humorous way, but it's not making a joke, but it's kind of fun.
It's realizing like this is fucking awesome. but not in this way. It's like, this is seriously fucking awesome. We got to be, like the way like Michael Bay, like just has this sort of, his Bayos as he calls it or whatever.
But without does he that call kind it of, that?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a clip of him, before like Transformers 2 or something like that, like talking to his crew. He's like, see the shoe? And he holds up the shoe. He's like, Nike made me this special. It's called Bayos. Because that's me, Michael Bay Chaos, like this control chaos. It's the way I work, and if you can't keep up, you're going to find this up your ass. Basically, he would make a great call center guy in this movie, Michael Bay would.
Yeah, it'd be funny cameo, though.
This has a little bit less of that, like, which is a strange word to say with Michael Bay, but this has a little bit less of that pretension. You know what I mean? Like, Michael Bay has this, like, this sheen and this sort of controlness to it, but this is just a little bit, like, wilier. And I like that.
Oh, I see what you did, because that's the name of the detective in this movie.
Name of Dr. Wily, yeah. Also, I've been playing Mega Man 3 again, which is fun.
I don't remember 3.
But anyway, and then like so the cops are on his tail, and they're starting to put together that like, well, this guy doesn't exist. We can't figure out who he is. This name Adam Clay gets run, and I like that like they're immediately like, well, this name gets run. We know he's got a British accent because she talks to him early before all this goes down. Like. The daughter talks to Jason Statham. And I love when she's like, oh, you've got a hint of the British Isles in your accent. Yeah, just a hint. Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a hint. Yeah. I mean, 90% technically isn't everything, so it's a hint.
Yeah, that's true. When they're like, well, we ran him through these things he's not listed anywhere. They immediately, like at one point, Wiley like jumps to like, well, it could be military and it's something we don't know about. Instead of, it's a stolen identity, which is the most likely thing, But they're like, no, it's probably some sort of super secret organization.
Well, no, but I mean, the fact that like he's got a birth certificate and a social security card, it wouldn't be a stolen identity because that would still be weird.
Well, it's still, no, but I'm just saying like that it's more likely it's a fake identity rather than like making the leap to, well, obviously this is going to be a military style thing. And it's kind of said half in jest, but it's also like a neat way to, some little sleight of hand to do that.
I kind of like that it's just like, they're just like, oh, I think, like they start getting the hint of like, this might be some fucked up shit that like, it's a little above our pay grade, if you could say. After the car bridge thing, Peter Malark has overheard this because he was on the phone with a call center guy. He hears about this whole bee thing. He's like, hey, Jeremy Irons, guess what happened? And Jeremy Irons is like, oh, I'm speaking in American accent. And
that's a good one.
Beekeepers. Did you say beekeepers? And they don't fully give it away, but you see, there's some fucked up shit about beekeepers.
But I love the way they do that too. It's like, if a beekeeper tells you you're going to die, you are going to die. Yeah. What?
Yeah. So let's just talk about the beekeepers as an organization. Why do they actually keep bees?
Well, see, I don't think do they all, or is it just something he's like, well, normative determinism and all
that lady that tries to kill him in the Zoolander fight.
Yeah.
She's got a beekeeping book in her car, doesn't she?
But it makes it sound like it's like, that's all code. So I don't know.
I gotcha. Yeah.
Which, by the way, it's weird to have like, oh, here's my Hitman handbook in the, I'll just leave that in the glove box.
There's a gas fight that is like literally the Sears version of that Zoolander gas fight. And it's very funny because that's another one. I'm like, is that a reference? Are they trying to reference that movie?
Well, that's this movie's, honestly, I think this movie's fatal mistake. And the thing I will knock it for is that when Jeremy Irons realizes it's the beekeepers, he's like, oh, well, as head of the CIA, like I might be able to do something about it. And so he calls Minnie Driver of all people. And I was like, oh, Minnie Driver. And then she's barely in it, which was a bummer. I was expecting more. But
yeah, you want a Maxi Driver. If you want
I want Maxi Mini.
Maximum Driver, starring Emilio Estevez.
She's like, you know what? I called in the current beekeeper. They'll take care of it. And I love the text exchange because it's just shots of that woman he called earlier on the computer. And then you just see like this like text exchange in front of the screen. It's like, when did you take out former beekeeper? Sounds like fun. LOL. It's like, yeah, that sounds ominous. But like he immediately fights another beekeeper. That should escalate. He should get to the other beekeeper. If the beekeepers as a thing are supposed to be so badass, and he dispatches one right away,
this was a weird spot in the film. Is the beekeeper send somebody out to kill him? He beats her real quick. And then the beekeepers go, yeah, we tried. I think we're just going to back off.
They're like, we're going to remain neutral.
Which is weird turn of events there. Yeah. And that's what I was like, I don't remember John Wick well enough. It's like, is that a beat from John Wick that they're kind of,
Yeah, but and it's also because the new beekeeper, she looks like a character you designed in Cyberpunk. Like she's got these like big glasses, like pink, bright pink, like trench coat thing.
Penis number 2.
Penis number 2, penis B. And then like a mohawk, which also is still like, oh, look at these new kids today. Like their stupid style. She's got a minigun on the back of her truck that she shoots up.
Badass.
Which is pretty hilarious. But that's, no, we don't know that flashy stuff. We just need Jason Statham just punching people. And sure enough, he beats her. And so it's a little bit like later, it's like, well, none of this stuff matters. I've already seen you beat a beekeeper. Like the fact that you're South African does nothing for me. I don't know why that's supposed to be menacing.
This leads, Jeremy Irons hires a group of people to do some protection stuff, yada, yada, doesn't matter. But Jeremy Irons gives us the speech, the backstory, who the beekeepers are. And it's like, you're part of SEAL Team 6. It makes you look like a bunch of pussies. And just like one, you really think you're going to say that to SEAL Team 6 and like these uber macho military guys? You're just going to call them pussies to their face and they're just going to sit there and take it. Like, you're not their boss. You're a fucking hired guy.
Right.
But I like that kind of a suspension of reality where it's just like, this works in the 80s, but like we have UFC now. Like we know that there's a stage where like you just get good enough at fighting that like, you no longer will just beat the shit out of like everybody's kind of equal. Like the best UFC guy versus the worst. Yeah. I mean, he's going to beat the shit out of him, but like, it'll take a bit. It's not like this guy's like, oh no, 7 Navy SEALs. I got that in a second. Like, no.
That's how good the beekeeper is.
Yeah. But it's very 1980s logic.
But it also has this weird, like the beekeepers, like to force the John Wick thing even more, like the beekeepers are John Wick and the Continental. They have no oversight. They can kind of do whatever. Tough shit. I mean, like you can try to fight them, but he's also retired, so he's not adhering to any laws, but they don't even make it sound like that matters at all anyway. And so he's got these security guys. Security guys go to a new call center, and this one is run by just a fantastic gentleman wearing a suit emblazoned with the word goat over and over and over again.
It's so fucking stupid. Oh god.
It's very like 90s, early 2000s where he's being a hype man on the phone too, but like everything he's doing is like, oh yeah, the numbers you're getting. Oh, I want to kiss you. You're so, oh, this guy, you could suck my dick. Oh, and it's like, well, the way that we kind of operate now is this character, is he like homophobic or is he just like super into having gay sex and he's really impressing on everyone, and everyone, God, Tony, stop it. Like, I'm sorry, like we're all fine with, no one cares that you're gay, but could you just stop trying to have sex with everybody?
It is a weird thing, especially the year that it came out. It's just, it is I mean, I guess, I don't know. It's, mob Italian culture, I think probably is still not very accepting of homosexuals.
I mean, realistically, it's the homophobic version, but I just like the idea, because when he's talking to the guy and he's like, you're going to get fucked and it's going to be beautiful. It's like, man, this guy just loves dudes.
And he's got such a Trumpy delivery, which is great because he's a piece of shit and, accurate, I guess I would say.
And guess what? Same thing happens. John B shows up and he beats all those guys up.
But on the way in, he sees a group of FBI or CIA or yada yadas.
I have so many questions about that.
Oh, no, please go ahead.
I've immediately forgotten as soon as they happen, because like the FBI shows up, like this tactical FBI team in like desert fatigues.
Yes.
Army guy style shows up, and then it's like, no, this is private security. You're not welcome in here. That you can just do that?
I think they said the governor of the state said you're not welcome here, but like federal supersedes state, I think.
Yeah, it was all thing that like made no sense. Like, no, private militaries can just operate and not deal with it. It was very strange.
And also, private military can order around the FBI, let alone just them operating without, oversight. They also can order around fucking lawful officers of the law.
Which is kind of amazing for David Ayer, because like he loves cops. His movies are very, very pro-cop and whatever. So to have the police be like constantly undermined in this is very interesting.
Wait, hey John, is this movie all pro-cops or is the movie anti-orc? That's really the question.
That's true.
Yeah.
In this case, the orc is bees.
All elves are bastards.
Well, I mean, that is true.
Yeah.
I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3, so absolutely that's true. But I love, so these army guys are outside, or the army FBI guys are outside. They're like, well, we're still going to do something tactical. And they're trying to figure out, and Jason Statham just walks up to him and tells him like, no, I'm not going to town. I'm going to try to lure them out and whatever. He just lays out this whole plan and then just kicks the shit out of him. Oh, it's great.
And he uses a bee metaphor. He walks up, he's like, yeah, that sometimes you get a wasp that you got to put some smoke inside. I don't know. I can't do the accent. I wish I could. I'm sorry. I apologize, audience.
No, it was great. But like, we haven't really touched on that there's not like witty bee one-liners. There's an attempt at one later. But so I'm actually kind of glad there's not, but at the same time, there's all these like really heavy handed things when he's talking to the daughter after the mom just dies and he's like, you got to protect your family. It's like a hive. It's like, or it's my family. Like,
yeah. Him and Vin Diesel should get together. Family, bees, hive, family.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's Hobbs or no, he's Shaw.
He's neither. That's The Rock and Vin Diesel, isn't it?
No, that's Dom Toretto and some other guy. They made the offshoot with him and Idris Elba. That was Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh, for real? I don't even know about that.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, now that you say it, I guess that does sound the tiniest bit familiar.
Yeah, because I think he's the one that killed Han. Like they retconned it so that he's the one that Han doesn't die, but he's the one that tried to kill Han in Tokyo.
No, that was Ben Solo.
No, different Han. This was the cool Han, not the Han Solo.
No, I think that was the Mongols.
No, different. You're thinking of the Chinese Han. This is the Japanese Han.
No, no. Kurt Russell.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Goldie Hawn.
Oh God. Why would he be a Han? Okay, moving on.
Because Goldie Hawn. I'm just going with the words. Isn't he married to Goldie Hawn?
Well, they're not married. I don't think they're married.
Or whatever. They were connected. They're connected enough that I can make a dumb joke about it.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's well worth it.
The problem is I got TikTok offered me money, so I'm gonna try to make some audiograms, and I might just do that one because it's just so stupid.
Yeah, why not?
Because I don't wanna, but they're giving me money, so I guess I'll do it.
Yeah, if they're giving you money.
Well, they're giving me money. It's like you get 60% off or some bullshit. Fuck it, I guess I'll do it. Unless you want to show your tits on camera, then we can just put that up there.
I don't. Not with the scarring. But so it's just like the rest of the movie is just this. Jason Statham goes somewhere, beats dudes up. The FBI is hot on his heels trying to figure it out. And then they uncover that, there's beekeepers and there's this whole organization. But
I love how semi-secret it is that the vice guy in the FBI shows up and talks to our lead FBI agents, and she references beekeepers no, just talk about that. No, just stick to the facts. Stick to stuff we know.
Well,
everybody's
we don't know.
Terrified of the beekeepers. It's like what's that Nicolas Cage thing where he steals the Constitution and
National Treasure.
Yeah. It's like a National Treasure thing where is there this secret that no one knows about, but kind of everybody knows about also? This kind of simultaneity.
Those movies are fun. I recommend them. I mean,
I saw the first one and I enjoyed the shit out of it.
Yeah, in the same way like this. It's just big dumb fun.
Yeah.
It's a ride. Have a good time.
Yeah, it's a ride. It's a hoot.
They eventually figure out, the FBI eventually figures out that this is all linked to the Danforth Corporation, which is the corporation that Jeremy Irons runs, as a stand-in because its real owner is now the president. And they forced her to give it up.
Wait. I think you need to be clear here. I know we kind of bring it up, but not the president of the company, the president of the fucking United States.
Of the United States.
Yes. Because
she doesn't trust her son.
Very unexpected.
Yeah. And the fact that it goes to the president, it made me immediately think of it's a completely different thing. But just how ridiculous that was made me think of this game. I think they remade it eventually, but it was a game for the Xbox called Metal Wolf Chaos, and it was a Japanese game. It was from Software, the people that do Dark Souls and stuff.
Oh, for real? I know From Soft.
But it was
I'm a Bloodborne boy.
The president. There's about to be a coup from the vice president, and so the president gets into a mech suit to fight the vice president and his forces.
Fuck yeah!
This is the closest I've seen as a movie to that. It's just the fact that it was the president was so fun. That's a twist that Homer Simpson would come up with.
I mean, that is I want to watch the president and the vice president fight in mechs.
Yeah. And eventually, so then he ends up at going to the president's lake home or something like that. And then has some of his tech bros over, knowing that they've everyone's been defeated in all the special ops security guys. Jeremy Irons it's like the Secret Service is kind of small potatoes. So we need to boost up that force with some South African guy and his friends.
So it's amazing because he's like, what's his name? Ulysses Claw.
Yeah, it's like that.
That Andy Serkis from the Marvel movies. He's got that same, but like much worse. But also sort of like a professional wrestler. Like,
yeah, like I honestly, my first thought was Kano from the Mortal Kombat movie.
oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, but he's not South African in that one. But
well, this guy, is he South African?
Oh yeah,
is that what that accent is? Okay,
yeah.
He looks Samoan.
African. Yeah, but and he talks about like how he beat a beekeeper once, and it was pure luck, and he lost his leg in the process.
Yeah. So I think we need to.
I was hoping he would have like a super tactical leg, like it would be like Rose
awesome.
McGowan in Planet Terror, or it would do something. But no, it just helps him live.
So this is a common thing. Well, not common, but it's happened more than once in watching these movies. Inexplicably, they just start quoting "to be or not to be." Do you think in the script it's spelled B-E-E?
Well, that's the problem. Is that like that's I said, like, because it's like the first time they attempted him to make a bee pun, and it doesn't really work. Because he's like when they finally have him surrounded, and like the South African guy's like, to be or not to be, isn't that the question? And I guess that's related to bees because it says bee in it. And and then, I'll choose to be.
Yeah. It's somewhat baffling because like even taking it that it's to be, it doesn't really make much sense. He's basically, you want to die or not? Be. Yeah. Like I don't. Yeah. I mean, whatever. It's not something that needs to be examined. But after Getaven, we got at least our second to be or not to be thing on the show.
What would be better? Well, Getaven was really just about how much that guy knew about Shakespeare, which was great. But I would have been cooler if he like, instead of like, he's like be or not to be. And then like, he just blows everyone away. And then he's like, you got B2'd.
Oh, I would love it.
See ya, wouldn't want to be ya. And then
I wish I knew more about Shakespeare.
Attack with bees.
Isn't there one with like the queen that dies or whatever in Shakespeare?
There's several queens that die in Shakespeare.
Yeah, that's what I would reference. Cause like there's queens in beehives.
Well, this is, so we haven't touched on this. So,
Wait, John, I don't think you got my metaphor.
No, I got it.
There's queens in beehives.
Well, that's that brilliant insight leads me to this forgotten point that they in reading the book that was on the other beekeeper's body, they found out that some bees become queen slayers. Yes. When queens are just crapping out terrible offspring, that some members of the hive, I don't even know if this is real or not. It sounds really made up, but that will take it upon themselves to kill the queen, and then like they'll make a new queen. And so everyone is like, oh, well, he's going to go kill the president because her son sucks. And that will somehow like save like, it makes it sound like the beekeepers have just like by beekeeper rules, they can just assassinate a president if they don't like the way things are going. That's the way they make it sound like.
I think that's how it works.
Yeah. But again, like under what auspices, like who makes that call? Beekeepers, I guess.
I think they're the Section 31
basically
of this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Audience at home, single and ready to mingle.
Yeah. And into Deep Space Nine and other stuff.
Yes. But Section 31 comes before Deep Space Nine. What are you, an idiot? It's from Next Generation.
Yeah, but it gets cooler in Deep Space Nine.
Honestly, I don't even know if it's from Next Generation. As I was saying that, I'm like, yeah, I'm actually not really sure about that.
Yeah, wow. Blowing it with the ladies.
Yeah, sorry.
But I like that everyone on the Jeremy Irons side of thing is convinced this is what's going to happen. But Jason Statham is like, no, he keeps saying like, it's personal. I've retired. And he just wants to kill that kid. But I love that they keep building it up like, oh my God, he's just going to go up the chain. And he knows that the president accepted money because it's revealed that the kid is using a algorithm developed by the CIA that instead of hunting terrorists, he uses it to like he says to find money, but he's basically like using it to find old people to trick. He's used a thing that's normally for good, killing people from the Middle East, and is using it for evil, scamming old people.
Well, I mean, here's the thing though. Killing people in the Middle East is only cool if you're on one side of an arbitrary line.
Right. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Because the other side we give money to commit the genocide. The other side is the bad ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Political.
Bum, 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 bum. New rules.
New rules. Alex doesn't know anything about Palestine.
New no-nos. Learning about geography is dumb.
Yeah.
This algorithm, the Hunter Biden type son used it to fund her campaign because she was down in some states, and he apparently, having money, could do ad buys or something. It's not really explained, the connection, but just somehow spending more money made it okay in those states, and she got elected. But she's like, I'm going to tell the Beekeeper everything. When he comes to kill us, I'm going to tell him, I'm going to sell you out immediately. I don't care. This sucks. For the good of the country. So when Jason Statham shows up, kills the kid. Like, mom's fine. Doesn't do anything to the mom because she didn't make Felicia Rashad kill herself.
Yeah. So PETA first kills the second in command of the CIA or the FBI or
FBI, yeah.
Some letter thing. And then PETA starts to pull the gun to kill his mom, and that's when Jason Statham kills him. And then our friend, the lady from Umbrella Academy, the indelible character that we all remember everything about.
Yeah.
The lady
Jessica,
from Umbrella,
I believe her name is.
Sure, it literally couldn't matter less. Kind of lets him go, and he does a reverse Bond where he takes off his tuxedo, puts on a weird scuba suit, and goes into the sea.
Well, I love when he jumps out the window. He like shoots the kid and then jumps out the window, and then there's a long beat of them like, oh, Madam President, are you okay? And then the Jessica like looking around and then going to the window. And when she gets to the window, Jason Statham was like just getting up and running away.
Yeah.
Like, was he just like, ow?
It's gotta hurt. Well. Yeah. Like that Peter Griffin thing where he like hits his shin. Yeah.
Like, and then, and escapes to go do something else. I don't know, whatever. Don't make more of these. Unless you do the exact same thing where he's like, well, I shacked up with another old woman that this time got scammed by, I don't know, someone international.
Honestly, I'd be fine with part 2 if they don't. He ends up in England to change his name. No, he goes back to where he came from because he's got that accent. But he was never a beekeeper there. So he fights the Wasperinos. So he's there and he finds out like, my hometown's filled with the Wasperinos. I didn't even try an accent.
But see, like, I think if they make another one, you're going to get into the John Wick thing. And we liked this in the original John Wick. That I don't want more lore of this. Like I like the world building you've done, and like you give me like little tastes of what this stuff is in John Wick. Yeah. And they really lean into it, and I think it overall it works in John Wick. That being said, I don't give a shit about the Continental Show. But like I don't want more information about the Beekeeper. I don't want any more lore explained. If you have him do the same thing again, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it'd be funny. Yeah. Like let's say it just shows up is like he's in Chiswick or whatever, and he's like, oh no, the whatever kills bees, but what kills bees? Oh no, the Monsanto factory kids are, and then you have to fight them.
Yeah, like I just don't want it to get any deeper than it already is.
Yeah, no, it's fun. I'm sure they'll put a sequel out and it'll.
They got the tone just perfect.
In conclusion, this movie's fun and you should probably watch it.
It rules. It made I have not seen a movie that just like got me this excited in a while. Last time we did Under the Silver Lake, whatever, like that. I'm excited to talk about it because all this stuff, but just watching it where I just want to like fist pump and be like, yes, they're still making movies like this. That made me very excited.
Oh, wait. I did want to tell you this and tell the audience this because it's embarrassing. That's what I do. The lady that plays the president, I don't remember her name, but she's been in stuff. She's good. Her screaming over her dead kid is the acting's too good and it actually made me feel some emotions. And I'm just like, oh, fuck you.
Yes.
No, you should hire someone shittier at acting because I shouldn't be like, that's bullshit. Like you could have like made that noise because you dropped a vase, but like you're good at acting and you made me feel something at the end of The Beekeeper. That's horseshit and I don't like it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when they have a little interaction ahead of time, when she's like, oh, I wish your father was still alive so I could kill him. Like it really kind of set her up like she was going to be some giant villain, but it's like, no, she's just, she's not great in some ways, but like she's still human. Yes. Which was unexpected in this movie.
So speaking of everything but that, do you have any recommendations to the audience for other things for them to watch?
Very few. I have not. I've been on a cold streak. I watched The Last Match, which is a movie about Ernest Borgnine leading a team of football players to rescue the owner's daughter from commandos. Yeah, it sounds way cooler than it is. Like when the football players are doing stuff, it's fun, but that doesn't happen till like the last 15 minutes of the movie. But I've rewatched Sexy Beast. I may have recommended that on the podcast before. Yeah. Jonathan Glazer's, I think that's his first movie, but also found out he did the Jamiroquai video, which was unexpected, but that's been good. And then I've just been watching Deep Space Nine, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
Let me
Sexy Beast. That's the.
Let me do a little emery board of my nails and then go
I hate that sound.
over the top because I'm about to blow your mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to talk about something I've already talked about. I mentioned that I was rewatching Dragon Ball, so I gave it up for a while and then revisited, and oh my god, there's like the best that happened. I totally forgot this was a thing. Spoiler alert from a show from 1987. They finish a world martial arts tournament. They've befriended Tien, who the guy who ended up winning. He beats Goku. And it was an amazing match. And it's like, oh, we're going to be friends. Let's go out to eat. And Goku's like, oh no, I forgot my magic pole and my Dragon Ball back at the stadium. And Krillin's like, oh no, I'll go get it for you, Goku. I'm a piece of shit subservient fucko.
Mm-hmm.
Krillin doesn't come back. And Goku's like, oh no. And he starts getting this like psychic premonition and goes, and runs away. Goes into the locker room and Krillin's dead.
What?
Yeah. But here's the thing. This has been a kid's show this whole time. No, there's been zero consequences. The only person that's ever died, they literally brought him back to life with the Dragon Balls. And Krillin's dead body is on screen for like 2 episodes. Like in the background, Tien is just carrying the corpse of this kid with his eyes open doing the dead face. And Goku's like so sad.
Oh my God.
It's like, holy fuck. 'Cause imagine being a little kid in Japan in like 1989. 1988.
Yeah.
And like this lovable guy that like you've literally no hero has ever been remotely hurt. And he's dies off screen. It was, it's really fun. So Dragon Ball, delightful.
Which reminds me, I did not mention this. Fun fact, in the scene where the FBI is storming one of the call centers, and I think it might be the first one because there's still some people around. There's a shot of Wiley, like it's a profile shot shadow, and you see he's like in the stairwell. All these cops are running by him. In the background is one of those jamokes, and he's like up against the wall, hoping no one sees him, and like makes a run for it. And then it cuts to FBI woman she's talking to. It cuts back. That guy's back against the wall, like hoping no one notices him. So they just like did it out of order. It doesn't really matter unless you look at it. It just made me think of my friend Tyson was in this like super low budget horror movie like 20 some years ago, whatever, just working behind the scenes. And they're like, we need extras for this party scene. He's in there and he decided he was going to have some fun with it. And like, he's like, I'm just going to play like I get drunker through the party, but they kind of edited the scene differently than what he thought. So like in like the first time you see him is like heads up against the wall and he looks all drunk. Like in the next shot, like he's talking to someone like normal. Yeah.
So I always love the audience at home to John doesn't speak for both of us because I don't use the J word.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I call them greasy Italians, which I believe is the proper nomenclature. I have
a Mamma Mia pass, so I can.
Oh, sorry.
When you actually hit the limit of breadsticks, because there's a limit at Olive Garden, they're here. We're so sorry. I'm sorry. They said, we are so sorry.
Yeah.
Have this pass. We make it up to you.
That's a spicy meatball pass. Which means I've gotten blown by an Italian person. Let's stop.
Congratulations on learning to self-suck, by the way.
John, in 2 weeks, I would like us to release another episode. And in doing that, I would like you to dictate the movie that we will discuss.
This movie was pretty wild, so I want to do something a lot less crazy, a little bit more staid and normal. So we're going to watch Brian De Palma's 1974 Phantom of the Paradise. His version of Phantom of the Opera / Faust / musical. Yeah,
it sounds good. I know nothing about it other than some guy who I won't name if you know who I'm talking about, Matthew Hopewell, available at the Holy Donut Revival Hour. I'm not going to tell anybody. I don't think I got the name of his podcast right, but whatever. No one's ever going to look it up. No one listens to this show, so who cares? Phantom of the Paradise. It's going to sound good.
Go to hell, man, says Alex. Well, I say thank you. I'm excited to rewatch this.
Yeah, no, I say, Fazanook, your mother screws in light bulbs, other Italian things. So Phantom of the Paradise, available on the internet. We will see you in a singular fortnight, not that bullshit that the 14-year-olds like. 2 weeks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.